business. Dave Datz, and I'm getting back to business. It's always a good thing to get back to business, isn't it? You've been doing something fun or frivolous, or you've been lazy and you've been doing nothing at all. But there always comes a time to get back to business, and that's a good thing, because getting back to business means getting things done. And that's a good thing to do, to get things done, isn't it? Yes, it is. Sometimes we get down to business, and that's good. You can get back to business, or you can get down to business. We never get up to business. Sometimes we get up to no good, and we might think it makes more sense to get down to no good. But when it comes to business, getting back is good, getting down is good, getting up is not good. All right. You can have your little double entendre if you want to. But you know that I'm right. In business, you get back or you get down. But wait. Whatever business it is that you get back or down to, always make sure that business is not usual. Never as usual, because we know that business as usual is bad, don't we? Yes, we know that. As in, oh, it's just business as usual. Bad. Politics as usual. Bad. We know that what we usually do is bad. We know that our usual is bad, and that means we don't like ourselves very much, do we? No, we don't. So when you get back to business, when you decide to straighten up and get back to business, always make it unusual, okay? Always make it as unusual as possible. But if you make it as unusual as possible, that would mean as rare as possible. And as rare as possible would mean the rarest. And the rarest would mean unique. And unique would have to be something brand new. Something you've never done before. And how can you get back to that? Because if you've done it before and then you get back to it, it would be usual, wouldn't it? So there you are. You're trapped. You want to get back to business, but you want to avoid business as usual. So you're trapped. Now, I suspect that many of you have felt lost in this way. Suspended in this void between getting back to business and avoiding business as usual. And if you were to sit up straight and get back to business, you'd have to admit that you don't really want to do it, because you know that the business you get back to will be your usual, and just the thought of it causes you severe emotional and psychological distress. Does it not? Yes, it does. Now, all of you, or most of you, have interests, right? We all have interests. And that's good. It's good to have interests. Your interests are what make you feel alive. They're what make life worth living. They include your family, your friends, your favorite TV shows, your favorite music, who you follow on Twitter. All of those things are good. Interests are good. But I have a warning for you about those interests. Never, ever let them become special. Because we know that special interests are bad. Do we not? Yes, we do. Consider. When every politician, commentator, or pundit in America, regardless of political affiliation, regardless of what state or section of the country they call home, regardless of who pays them or pays them off, regardless of newspaper, blog, social media, radio program, regardless of race, creed, color, gender, place of national origin, ethnicity, shoe size, clothing style, thickness, length, or color of hair, regardless of where they come from, where they're going, marital status, body mass index, or time of day, when all of those people tell us that something is true, well, it must be true, must it not? It just makes sense for us to accept it. And so when all of those people, regardless of how long ago or how recent their last haircut, when they all tell us that something is true, it is true. We believe it, don't we? Yes, we do. And all of those people tell us that it's good to have interests, but never special interests. No. the worst thing you can do is give in to special interests. Never give in to special interests. Now, all of you, I think, in those quiet moments when nobody else is around, when by some misaligned sequence of events, some rent in the fabric of the space-time continuum, you find yourself momentarily separated from your interests. Maybe your whole neighborhood has suffered a power outage, and all the cell phones are out, and the satellites are out, and some reversal in magnetic fields has disabled all the music players. During those moments, if you're honest with yourself, you will admit that you think your interests, or at least some of them, are kind of special, don't you? Yes, you do. You do. So whatever that passion is, whatever drives you, whether it's the search for spiritual purity or bodily fragrance, or the embrace of the material world, or the thorough, total rejection of the material world, or riding as fast as you can, as far as you can on a bicycle, or sleeping with goats, whatever that is, you think that interest is special. You feel that way. But when you start to feel that way, ask yourself, am I really so special? Am I so narcissistic and solipsistic as to believe that in all the world, my petty interests, no matter how arcane, cryptic, or abstruse, are really special? Do you really think that in all the world, you are the only person whose interests include the mixing of Drambuie and Southern Comfort and sugarless crunchy peanut butter to just the right consistency so that you can spread it directly on your tongue, where it will remain for at least a full 60 seconds while the alcohol oozes through your taste buds and into your bloodstream ever so slowly, while the sweet, sticky unguent stays on top. Do you really think you're the only person in the world with that interest? You're not so special. You should stop thinking as if you are. But when you finally get back to business, and you discover that unique business that is very special, that would be interesting, and that would be very special. But the one thing, the lowest thing, the thing you must avoid is catering to special interests. That, my friends, is as low as you can get. That's even lower than cheating on your goat. Catering to special interests. So, if catering is your business, and on Monday you get back to it, and you get a call from someone who wants you to cater a very special party for some very interesting people, you should accept, of course, but you should always beware. You should be careful not to engage in, and you should